Hey everyone, Maria from Coda. How you doing? One of the things that I'm always trying to stay on top of is my expenses, making sure that I'm living within my means and I'm budgeting appropriately, which is why I really like that Coda helps me get started using this template. So let's take a look. I'm going to go to the plus menu, choose Show Templates, and then over on the side, I'm going to search for Expense Tracker, and there it is. Just drag and drop it right into my Coda doc. Now, the expense tracker has a couple different parts to it, and let's just give ourselves a little more room here. The first part is it has an area where I can log all of my expenses, and I've also included a drop-down menu of categories, so I can categorize things and see how I'm trending. Then up at the top, I've got a nice little formula. In this case, I'm choosing to sum my expense amount, and notice it's showing me where that's being pulled from. So right up at the top, I could go ahead and get some details, and maybe I want to have this be red so I can see that a little bit more clearly. I've then also created two different drop-downs here that allow me to decide how I want to filter this particular field. So I can go ahead and choose I only want to see food, and maybe I only want to see things for a certain date range right here. And then the last part that allowed me to connect those is I'm choosing to filter off of that. So notice I got these little filter icons that show me, great, this date matches the expense date range picker, and the category matches the expense category, which is all being pulled from these items right up at the top. Then I made a nice little chart view of that table that lets me see everything organized. So it's already pretty robust, but maybe what I want to do is I also want to see how these expenses are comparing to my budget. So what I can do is create another little table and start to make some connections. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to open it up. I've got this format column option. Notice it shows me all of my selectable options and then this handy little convert to table button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I could decide to have this go below the table or in a new section. For the sake of example, I'm going to have it go below. Now I've got my handy little category table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another column, and I'm going to make this a currency column since we're talking about money. And I'm going to call this my goal. So how much I have allotted to be spent. So maybe this is 100, maybe this is 200, food 500, I'm only eating filet mignon, and entertainment maybe 25. Then what I can do is I could go right over here. I can add another currency column, and I'm going to call this the actual. So now I need to use a formula to pull in the information about what I'm actually spending, which is all coming from this part up at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equals and look at the expenses table. And then I want to filter by the category is equal to this row. So I'm saying, hey, only put the total for the row in this particular row. And then I want to look at the amount. And then I want to sum it. So now I've got a nice total for all of that. So now what I could do is I could do some conditional formatting. So if the actual is greater than the goal, I want it to be red so I know that I'm in the danger zone. And I can do that just by going right here, saying, hey, if actual is greater than goal, then I want to highlight that to be red. So I can see immediately where I'm actually outspending myself. So I've got that all built in. Now, your budget is up to you. Go ahead, customize, have some fun, and we'll see you next time.